Good? All right, very good. Good afternoon. By just a few seconds, everyone, thank you for being here. Thank you to those I see online. I see Beth and Ren and Lauren, and good to see all of you here in person as well. Thank you all for being here. Today is Wednesday, March the 9th, 2022, Parks and Recreation Commission monthly meeting. Looking around the room here, I think we're in good shape, but let's see. Oh, Angela has stepped away for a minute. Caleb, do you happen to have the attendance sheet that you can? Yes, she has that. Is this the one copy right here?
That's my copy right there.
That's your copy? Do you want to use this and call the roll, please, sir?
Commissioner Alexandria Washington, Commissioner Ashley Martinez, Director Kathy Peck,
Here.
City Attorney Beth Carpenter, Commissioner Delwyn Slater, Commissioner Demetria Murdoch, Director Doris Wright, Commissioner Jesse Gibson,
Here.
Commissioner Kenneth Taylor, Commissioner Lauren Eldridge, Commissioner Linda Smith,
Here.
Commissioner Matt Bowie,
Here.
Commissioner Randall Fink, and Commissioner Samuel Ellis.
Here. So if my numbers are correct and you guys keep me honest here, from a commissioner perspective, I count a total of 6 here. And on the current membership roll, we have 11 commissioners. So by my basic math, this does give us more than 50%. So we do have a quorum today. Thank you all for being here. Much appreciated. I do see online Beth, Lauren, and Ren. I can see you guys, and I think you guys can hear us. Can one of you maybe, can y'all say something? I want to make sure that we can hear you too. All right, Beth, I see you talking, but I can't hear you. Is that something that can be addressed?
Is she muted?
No, everyone does not appear to be muted. Any other audio things that we can try to ensure that we can hear from those online? Lauren, how about you? Okay, no, we can't hear you. I'm sorry. I can see you talking. Caleb, maybe try, is there an audio on your computer, a volume on the computer itself that can be adjusted?
Yeah, that's what we had last time.
Where?
All right, Lauren, let's try you one more time. Give us a mic check there.
Testing.
Okay, we got you now.
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes, Beth, we got you as well.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Great.
And let's see, Caleb, I think I saw a note in the chat that indicated Commissioner Martinez is here. Could she be added?
I cannot see or hear Commissioner Martinez. Is she in the room there?
No, she's online. We're trying to get her added to the panel right now.
And also, the camera I'm looking at is the ceiling, so can you adjust the camera so I can see everybody?
Yep, sure will.
Thank you. Thank you. There you go.
Taller.
All right, it looks like we have Commissioner Martinez there now. Commissioner Martinez, in order for you to be counted president, we need your video. There's your video. Thank you very much. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thumbs up. Yes. I believe that gives us 7 commissioners out of 11, if my math is correct. So we're in good shape there. So everything okay? Audio and video, we're good. Yep. Okay. All right. Let's proceed with business and get on with the show here. We'll start with the approval of the meeting minutes from our last February meeting. Those meeting minutes were provided to everyone prior to today via email from Mr. Caleb here. Do I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from February? So moved. I heard first by Commissioner Smith behind me there. Is there a second?
Second.
I heard from Commissioner Gibson behind me as well. Thank you very much. Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Is there any discussion on the meeting minutes? Anything at all that we need to quickly discuss before we call for a vote on approval? From anyone here in the room? I see heads shaking. Anyone online, questions or comments about the meeting minutes? I see heads shaking, so that's a no. All right, let's call for a vote. So all those in favor of approving the meeting minutes from February, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? The ayes have it. The meeting minutes have been approved. Thank you all for your participation there. All right. Again, referencing to the agenda, you should have that as well in front of you, also provided by Mr. Caleb via email. Next up on the agenda is citizen communication. I'm looking around here the room. We do not have any citizens with us for any citizen communication, and we do not have anyone attending virtually for citizen communication, so I think we'll continue on to the next agenda item, which is staff reports. And at this point, I'll turn over to Director Leland here for staff reports, please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bowie, Chairman Bowie. The biggest staff report that I wanted to discuss today for y'all is the marathon. We recently just had our 20th anniversary marathon. It was a very successful marathon. Our numbers were still a little low because of COVID, but everything went off without a hitch, and I really appreciate and want to give props to our staff. We have 3 great staff, which is Geneva Lamb and Brandy and Michael Garrity, who manage our marathon. So it was a great weekend this past weekend in terms of the marathon. I was just questioning myself actually if it was last weekend, just as all a blur. But anyway, it was great. There's actually was a proposal at the finish line too, which was really special, and all of that good stuff. So anyway, if there was any questions on that, and maybe when the marathon team is back to full operation and everything's put up, we could have them come and give a little presentation about their success in the marathon and what other races and events that they held for Little Rock Parks and Recreation this year. The other thing is our Macarthur Playground, which I've mentioned previously. It's our new inclusive playground. It's actually, they're constructing on it now, so that's moving forward. And another big thing for staff reports is that we did finalize our hire for our new trails coordinator. It's a new guy named Jordan Mays, and he is out working on our trails and is everything trails coordinating, or however you want to say that. But it's great to have somebody as a point person, and he can bring in other staff and volunteers to help with that. I'll be happy to answer any other questions for staff reports, and I'll give the opportunity for our Deputy Director of Recreation to speak about recreation, if Shawanda would like to say a few words about what's going on in recreation.
Hello, everybody. Our summer playground program is will start on June the 6th. So we are now taking applications for those jobs, and we do have a big need for lifeguards. Our numbers are down, so we do need lifeguards as soon as possible. If you know anyone who's looking for a summer job, please have them to go to the City of Little Rock website or the Parks and Rec website and apply for those jobs for the summer now. So we're up and going. Our senior program has come back, and so they're aging and active. And our golf programs are still going strong. The Macarthur Museum is open, and they will start back having school tours and visitation. So please stop by there. And like Leila mentioned, the playground is, we had the groundbreaking ceremony for that. So if you want to just go out and take a look at the area, it is staked so that you can kind of see where that playground will be placed. So that's what's going on at Macarthur Park. The community centers are going strong. We are down 2 staff members, so we are looking for some facility supervisors to apply for those jobs, and hopefully we can keep our activities going at all of our locations. We are short-staffed at most of them, so we do have jobs out for those as well. So please check the website and let anyone know that's interested in working with the City of Little Rock Parks Department to please apply. So I think that's everything. Tennis is going well. I think they have a tournament next month, and it's one of their big tournaments. So we'll be sending out information about tennis soon. But check our Facebook. We do have a lot of postings out there, different activities and programs from gym daily to you name it. So please join our Facebook page if you have not done that so far, and please share any information that you see about Parks and Rec. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next report.
Okay, dealing with administration. Currently, we are focusing on inventory. Right now, we're working with IT just to declutter our various equipment that we have, and computers no longer working, keyboards and things like that. So right now, we're focusing on a major cleanup, getting rid of equipment that's non-functional. Also, as Leila mentioned, we are in the progress of constantly hiring. We got our trust coordinator. We also have a therapeutic recreation specialist that we have hired for, and a park construction worker that we've hired for. So also we will have a parks maintenance manager. Hopefully we will make a decision on that soon, on that selected candidate. And then my next focus will be our special programs coordinator, who plays a big part in resource and administration. So hopefully we will get that position hired real soon.
All right, perfect. Any other reports?
I don't think so, not at this time.
All right, very good. Any comments or questions from anybody on the commission for the staff reports, Commissioner? Yes.
I had one question. So since we're emerging from COVID, are all the facilities open at their full hours right now? Everything's open? Okay, thank you.
Great question. Any other questions, comments? Any questions, comments from any of our participants online? If you do, raise your hand, jump up and down, anything at all? No? Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Thank you, Leland and team, for that. Let's move on to the next agenda item, old business. We've got quite a few things to cover here. Let's get right at it. So I'd like to start by calling on Commissioner Lauren to give us, if you would please, Lauren, an update, a quick overview on where things stand with the upcoming 2022 Commission Golf Tournament, please.
Sure. Just some basics. We have a date, so everybody mark your calendars for May 27th. That is the Friday before Memorial Day weekend. but that was when it was held last year, and we had a really good turnout. And I think it's a better date for the weather. It was even cool last year when we had it. So it'll be May 27th. That's a Friday. The way that we do it is we have 2 flights. So golfers will tee off, and one flight will tee off in the morning, complete a round of golf, and then a second flight will tee off in the afternoon. This will be held at Rebsman Golf Club down in Riverdale. George, the facility manager down there, is great to us, and we always have a great time. When we get closer to the date, we'll probably call on some folks to help us with on-site organization and just general help that we need around for the event. I know a lot of people showed up last year to help, and it was really fun. Something I'll also be probably coordinating with you all is help with generating sponsors for this. That's where we generally get our raise our money from, is the sponsors. We put sponsors on holes, put sponsors on the electronic maps inside of each golf cart. Those are different prices. Of course, we also get funds from the teams that sign up to play. Sponsorships is where it's really out at. And so if you guys even want to just start thinking of potential sponsors for this, it can be anybody. Local businesses are great to highlight, obviously. And again, I'll provide everyone with details going forward on how, the language on reaching out to these people, how they can make it official, things like that. And finally, for this year, we're hoping to have a little bit more of an online presence, bring it into the 21st century, and allow people to register either for sponsorships or teams online. So that's something that we're hoping to achieve for this year's tournament. So if anybody has any questions, let me know.
Thank you, Lauren. Questions, comments, golf tournament? Anybody online?
I got
Questions,
one.
comments? Yes, sir.
Who's the beneficiary? We designated beneficiary?
We have not yet designated a beneficiary for that. That's a very good question. I think historically, and Commissioner Gibson, keep me honest here, we have worked with the director to find out who the beneficiary might be.
Yeah, so we have met and we discussed this at length, and my goal as the director was that I wanted to actually do something that we've always, I guess, in the past given to a larger project, which is great, but I was thinking that this year if we could actually define what a project is and say the Park Commission Golf Tournament did this. And we've been a little lost at exactly kind of what that would be, because we're not that clear, I guess, in terms of the total amount of potential funding. And then I said, depending on what that possibility is, I would even go as far as to say that I would like to try to match that. So say if we raised 15 grand, I would match that with 15 grand. Maybe there's a 30 grand project. I also commented, one of my comments was that maybe because this is a golf tournament and the golf course needs a lot of work in terms of different improvements, that maybe there was a concept of we could put this back into the course itself. There's a lot of things that I have on my list there, so I guess this would be a good time to have kind of an open discussion on that if anybody had a particular desire or direction from the commission in terms of some of those different ideas. So.
I know in the past we've done it to sponsor scholarships to the summer park program. Personally, I just think something that would benefit kids. You can never go wrong with that. I'm not saying necessarily it has to be that program again. I know we've done it in the past and sponsored a ton of summer programs. So I don't know. I just think using it for kids who may be in need or need some kind of outdoor programming is all. You can't go wrong.
Great
Is
feedback.
first tee too much of a stretch? Just kind of linking it back to golf. I know that
It's a great program.
First Tee runs a great kids program out there. I don't know how you go about soliciting people who would want to sign up, but not necessarily have the ability to pay. But that's an idea if you wanted to rope it back into golf and kids.
Well, and so can we just kind of chime in here real quick, Matt?
Yeah.
So I think that's a good idea for this reason. In addition to your greens fees and your sponsorships, you might be surprised if, with golf, people are going to go to a golf tournament. You just have a jar out there. You might be surprised that you might need some more donations to help golf programs for kids who may not be exposed to golf. So
That's right.
I'm just thinking, like, if that's what you're going to earmark it for, you got guys with their clubs, having a few beers. It might be a good way to just put a jar out there. You might be surprised what you got.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Because, I know First Tee does a lot of programs for kids who are not really exposed to golf and trying to get them into the game and to grow the game. So I think it's a pretty good idea.
Any other ideas, Commissioner ideas? I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot. If you've got another idea later on, please just let us know. Anybody, Ren or Ashley or Lauren, any other ideas? With this?
I like a link to golf to possibly maybe make people more, golfers more apt to participate. Some sort of link to golf, I think, is a great idea.
Okay, sounds good.
I like Leland's point about trying to have something that does stand alone and not just kind of gets lost in the mix of where the money go. So yeah, I do, and I think that would benefit future tournaments as being able to make those things more well known.
Yeah, I think, if we were able to kind of pinpoint what a scholarship might look like for the, First Tee donations for kids, or, like Leland said, some sort of a project that needed attention, as long as it was something more tangible than it's going to go to this park or, area of town. I think that's a fair way to market it if we can. I mean, that's something we'd have to probably know on the front end.
Sure.
Is there something that's a needed First Tee that we could reasonably raise the money?
Yeah, so
It's probably a list of things.
we can come back to that, but we can ask staff to give us a report on that. But I know that a challenge we have out there, and something that I've been wanting to focus on, is that we've introduced golf carts out there, and so in my mind that we're kind of without golf cart paths, we're destroying some of the areas, and so I've looked at it's challenging, and we could digress very quickly here, but it's challenging just to say, well, let's just go out there and put a couple of cart paths in, and then ultimately we wanted to make some tweaks or whatever. I think we need to master plan where the cart paths need to go and make sure that we're getting them done correctly. So there's that concept in terms of maybe making a plan, but I don't really think that's the perfect fit for this, but there is some different needs out there, and I could maybe get a better list of what those needs are.
I mean, it could be anything from ball washers to tee markers.
You're right.
I mean, it
all
could
kinds
be
of stuff.
there's tons of things.
And when we took over the course, it was in pretty, it was downgraded or whatever, and we've had to pick up a lot. So I'm sure you're right in terms of that there's probably plenty of things like that. And I would love, that's my point, is that I would love to be able to say, this did this, and we provided 10 golf ball washers or whatever, and 10 scholarships and blah, 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 something like that, so.
Yeah, they only have like 25 carts there at the First Tee, and they lost 2 of them to vandalism.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we had 2 to get stolen, and we were able to get them back, but they're destroyed.
Oh, no.
Yep.
No, good.
I do like the combination of a physical project and scholarship combination. I think that's worthwhile, and to be able to say, I know they give scholarships already for their summer programs, but to say, we're doing 10 additional scholarships this year because of the golf tournament.
Yeah, totally. I think Lauren's dead on. I think time to golf this year makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Great ideas, everybody. Thank you for your feedback. It sounds like, Leland, you've got some ideas to chew on.
Yeah, staff and I will work together and we'll come up with a plan to finalize. And
perfect. Thank you very much. Lauren, thank you for that.
Make sure we can afford it. Makes you feel
Thanks for your update, Lauren. We're all excited about it, looking forward to it. Again, Lauren, that was Friday, May the 27th. Is that correct? That's the Friday of Memorial Day weekend, right?
Yes, don't go to the lake until the afternoon.
Right.
Don't go to the lake until the afternoon. Good advice.
What's the goal, or what's the speculation of what we might be able to raise?
I know in the past it's been 5 figures.
I think we have a moderate. I mean, I think we have a moderate goal. I think a moderate goal would be anywhere between 20 and 25. You know, and then probably 20 would be a moderate goal, because we are going to raise the prices of our sponsorships this year, so that'll help. And then, you know, we can have a sky's the limit goal, and you know, I'd love to try to blow it out of the park someday. You know, 30, 35. So, but I think a moderate starting point would be 20, because in the past we've gotten into the high teens.
Okay. As I know the first year or two we did it, I think both years, even one year we got bad weather, it was still 5 figures. So I think you know, especially if you're increasing some of the sponsorships, have good turnout and pray for good weather, I think that's probably. I think the second year we did it was like 16 or 17. But it was a good amount of money.
That's
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Lauren's got a really good plan for making that number up there, so no pressure at all, Lauren, but you know, we're excited about it. I think it's very achievable. Yes, ma'am.
And I just want to throw this out there about the sponsorships. I think if you can get that information as soon as you can to us, Lauren, I think
Absolutely.
that as a commission we could all be a little more proactive and get sponsors, especially if we're talking about something that will resonate with the golf community, first tee supporters. If they know we're going to do something for them, they'll pony up. And I think if the sooner we can get that out and get a great list of sponsors, we can share with our different networks, the better. So I like the first tee idea a lot, and I like the scholarship hard stuff combo.
Sorry, Gabby.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm throwing the ball back at Leland, and I'm going to say, when Leland figures out some good objective beneficiaries for us, I'll drop some language for our sponsorships so that we can all be on the same page when we make our asks, and as soon as we get that kind of set in stone, we definitely get going on generating some sponsors earlier in the game than last year.
Okay.
All right.
We'll define that sooner than later.
Thanks, everybody.
Tomorrow.
Conversation on the golf tournament. Good stuff. This is going to be a very successful event. I'm very confident in that. And Lauren, thank you for your leadership in pulling all this together. My apologies to everybody here. I'm sorry that I keep turning back around and talking to everybody. I'm not trying to not look anybody in the face. My apologies. We're going to talk about meetings a little bit later on in here in this particular meeting. But looking at our time, we are halfway through our meeting. And I do want to make some more progress here on our agenda, so let's keep going. Appointment of committees. We talked about this the last time, and I'm going to call on Councilor Carpenter to keep me honest here. But according to the bylaws, and we kind of sussed this out a little bit the last time, the chair of the commission, and I'm reading from the minutes because I don't have my copy of the bylaws in front of me, but the chair of the commission shall appoint the chair of permanent or temporary committees as established by the commission. So at this time, I would like to say it like this. I did reach out to everyone last month and asked those on the commission to respond back if they had a preference on which committee they might like to serve on. I did hear from a few folks, and I am going to make a couple of recommendations right now. Counselor, is it okay if I make nominations for all three of the committees together and we vote on them together, or should we do them one by one? What's the preference there?
I think it would be a little clearer if we did them each one by one.
Okay.
The chair of the commission would appoint the chair of the permanent committee.
Okay.
So we have Conservancy liaison, master plan and vision is the second one, and outreach and social media is the third one. So you would appoint the chair, let's say the Parks Conservancy liaison. Then that chair and this is just my suggestion, the chair of the Parks Conservancy liaison can populate his or her committee, and then that population of committee members can be approved by the entire commission.
Yep, okay.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Just do it separately?
Yeah, it does make sense, and we can certainly do that. And if I heard you correctly in reading the bylaws one more time, the chair can make the appointment for the chair of the committee, and then the committee chair can then bring on the members to serve, and then those members are voted upon by the entire commission, correct?
Yes, then those members that the chair of the committee has appointed, those members will need to be approved by the entire Parks Commission.
Okay, all right, very good. So just to be clear then, then the chair will make the appointments of the committee chairs, and then it'll be incumbent upon the committee chairs to wrangle some folks to serve on their committees, and then I believe we can vote on that. I guess it'll probably be next month before we can vote on that to get the committees up and going, but that's just where we stand right now. So if that is indeed the case, then we'll have the chairs appointed here today, and then chairs will fill out their committees over the next month. So I have not, and I'm going to put, we're going to start with Parks Conservancy. I haven't spoken to this fellow about it, but I would like to appoint, and he's looking at me right now, Mr. Ren Bersink to be the chair of the Parks Conservancy subcommittee. Ren, do you accept your appointment?
I do. That's fine by me.
Great, thank you. And in my dual role as chair of this commission and also chair of the Parks Conservancy, I'd love to speak with you about how we can engage each other and bring these two organizations together and start making some additional impact here locally. As far as outreach and social media is concerned, I did hear from Commissioner Martinez on that, who expressed interest in being a part of that committee. I would like to, if I may say it like this, appoint Commissioner Martinez to be the chair of the Outreach and Social Media Committee. Commissioner Martinez, do you accept this appointment?
I do accept if you guys don't mind a newbie.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And then perhaps most importantly, master plan and vision. We've all heard Leland talking about master planning for a number of things, and the first tee golf being one of them today. I did hear from someone on that, Commissioner Smith. I heard from you that you'd be interested in serving on that committee, but did you also accept an appointment to lead that committee as well?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. All right, so let the record state that the chairs for Parks Conservancy Liaison will be Commissioner Ren Bersink. The chair for the Outreach and Social Media will be Commissioner Ashley Martinez, and the chair for the Master Plan and Vision will be Commissioner Linda Smith. Thank you all for accepting your appointments. Now, just a reminder, you're all charged with reaching out to the commission members and recruiting some folks to serve on your committees. Please
If I
do
may,
so.
Chair Bowie?
Yes.
The actual appointments and discussions would need to take place again in a regular business meeting or a specially called meeting for that purpose. I think that the chairs of the three committees can be thinking about who they would like to appoint as members of their committees, respective committees, and my issue is reaching out and speaking with them may constitute a meeting. And then the media would need to be notified. Any communication between at least two commission members under our FOIA law is considered a meeting, and the media must be notified. So that's my only concern about reaching out of a business meeting.
All right, very good. So with that information at hand, then committee chairs, we will, at our next scheduled meeting in April, then you will have an opportunity to bring on folks to your committees at that point. Then we'll vote on ensuring everybody is fully approved to the commission or the committees. Is that correct, Counselor?
That will will be fine. The appointments would need to be made in a regular business meeting. Each committee chair can be thinking about who they would like to appoint, and then make these appointments at the next meeting in April.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for that. Thanks for keeping
Then
us.
each commission chair makes the appointments in the meeting, and then that would be approved by the entire Parks Commission at that meeting.
All right, thank you very much. So committee chairs, you have your marching orders there. Please do refer back to the bylaws for more information about your respective committees. I'm sure each of you have already done that and you're familiar with what is being asked of you. So we'll look forward to hearing from each of you next month and voting on your commission members.
Matt, can I interject for 1 second?
Please do.
I need to go to my other virtual meeting. Is it okay if I hop off? It seems like you guys still have a quorum if I were to exit the meeting.
Yes, I believe that is okay. We currently have 7, if the count is accurate, and so your leaving would still leave us with 6. So I think we're okay in that regard.
Okay, I didn't want an Irish exit on you and on everyone, so I just wanted to make sure and simplify.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Lauren. Appreciate that.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for kind of working through the appointment of committee chairs there. Some logistical and housekeeping business that I should have done earlier in the year, but for various reasons, here we are. Moving on to the agenda, looking at our time, we're at 12:37, new business. Let me turn over to Director Couch here for an update on the Western Hills project, please.
Okay, so quickly, I've discussed the Western Hills project several times. Happy to give any updates, but what I wanted to discuss today was that we are establishing a groundbreaking ceremony for March 19th at noon. And I invite all of y'all to come and participate, and I appreciate Linda was representing the commission at our last groundbreaking for Macarthur Park. And anyway, we'll have updates sent out to y'all for that meeting just to make sure if there was any modifications, but in terms of the time and whatnot. But your attendance is always really appreciated. So that's what I have for Western Hills.
Any questions for the director on the Western Hills project?
Yes, I'm not familiar with that one. What is the location if we attend the groundbreaking?
Yeah, that's a great question. So Western Hills is a project of the old Western Hills Golf Course, which is on Western Hills Avenue, which is actually off of Asher Street. And we can send an address in our in a notification to you. But it's a large golf course, and we'll have some wayfinding signage out there for you when we set up our staff in terms of television. We'll be picking the groundbreaking location, and the mayor's office will be. So the park is 150 acres, but it's relatively close to the parking lot. I don't think you'll be able to miss it once you get to the current address.
Any other questions on Western Hills project? All right, if not, then we're going to keep on moving because I know we need to cover agenda items for the next meeting, and we certainly are looking forward to hearing from Director Peck here in just a second. Next meeting location. So back over to Director Couch for an update on that real quick.
So I have meeting location on there because we, right now with hopefully COVID numbers continue the way they are and decline, the mayor just removed our mask mandate for indoor activities. And so we're transitioning, even though I haven't really said this, but I mean, last meeting was full WebEx. This meeting is a kind of a in-between WebEx and staff. We've had some decent turnout or good turnout. So with the commission's blessing, I'd like to suggest that we have a all in-person meeting next month in this same location, but we'll be utilizing half of our banquet hall at this location if that is so approved by the commission.
I do want to have some quick discussion on this. Director Peck, any comments about us moving in that direction from your perspective? No, you're okay with that?
I hope we do.
Okay, all right, let's open this up for discussion. So Director Couch has asked, requested that the commission start meeting in person again. Any discussion here internally? Everybody okay with that? Questions, comments, concerns? No? Let me turn to Commissioners Brasink and Martinez on the virtual call. Questions or comments about meeting in person beginning next month?
No, I think it's a great idea. I do think, though, can we keep the online option open? I just know sometimes with us getting a quorum can be difficult, and that sometimes can make that a little more reasonable. But I want to be there in person as well. So.
Nope, good feedback, and I certainly have a comment on that as well. But I do want to ask if Commissioner Martinez, did you have any comments or questions about this?
My only comment would be agreeing with Ren's comment that while I can attend in person and don't necessarily have reservations about COVID at this point, sometimes with everyone's work schedules and things like that, it's a lot more convenient to hop on an online call than spend time, driving somewhere 30 minutes, meeting for an hour, and driving back in the middle of the workday. But at the end of the day, we all signed up for the commission, knowing that we would be responsible to attend meetings. So just maybe it might boost attendance to keep the option, but happy to do whatever works best for everybody.
Good feedback. Thank you very much. Councilor Carpenter, any comments or questions, any concerns about what we're discussing here?
No, I agree with the comments that have been stated.
Okay.
I feel that the online option is reasonable, but I plan to probably attend in person as much as I can. So I will go with whatever the commission wants to do.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Any other discussion, comments, questions? Just for the sake of great clarity, let's put this to a vote. So I think the item that needs a vote at this point is to get back into in-person meetings, but maintain the virtual option as a backup plan. Is there a motion to approve that notion?
So moved.
So moved by Commissioner Gibson. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Smith. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Very good. Director, we will look forward to hopefully seeing everybody here next month in person, but with the online option as a backup plan if possible.
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay,
Thank
perfect.
you.
On the notion of getting back together, and very quickly, I do want to call out that in the bylaws, which everyone should have a copy of the bylaws. If you do not, please do reach out to Director Couch or any of the staff or myself, and we can get you a copy. But I do want to quickly call out and have it on record with regard to Article 3, which is membership and especially attendance. Attendance. I do want to call out that according to the attendance portion of the bylaws, and I'm gonna paraphrase just a bit. Commission members are expected to attend all meetings to ensure the existence of a quorum in order for us to conduct business. I think we're all aware of that. This is where I want to just make sure we're all clear. When a member has missed more than 25% of all regular meetings of the commission in one calendar year, or more than 3 consecutive regularly scheduled meetings, the member is automatically removed from the commission. The commission shall immediately certify to the city manager that the member has missed the requisite number of meetings. Then the member who has not been attending has an opportunity to submit their writing or desire to remain on the board. But this goes before the city board of directors, and the city board of directors can, if the commissioner has made an appeal, they can decide whether to allow that member to serve or not. And if the member is not allowed to continue to serve, the vacancy shall be filled according to the application provisions, Little Rock City Code. So I do want to call that out. We do have some dwindling numbers that we've been dealing with for a minute now. There are several who are on the commission who are subject to this rule. I just want to make sure that everybody is clear on the requirements so that we don't lose any more. For those who have met the requirements, I'll be following up with director and staff to ensure that we get the right information certified over to the city manager for proper procedural handlings, and I think that does go before the board of directors for some additional appointments. So are there any questions or comments about attendance?
I have one.
Yes, sir.
I think I'm the oldest guy on the commission. I've been on here since like 2016. And I think those 4 or 5 years, for 4.5 years, I don't think I missed a meeting. I'm going to be stepping down from the commission, not because I'm angry or upset. I have too much going on right now. I'm running a statewide campaign. I don't think I can commit. I think I'd be batting less than 50% the last 6 or 8 months. So I'm going to be stepping down. I don't know what the procedure is to do that. I totally support parks. I love being a part of this commission. But I just don't think I can commit for the rest of this year to make the regular September meetings. I just want to be upfront with everybody on that. So, and I want to do that in person. I knew that was going to have to come out. I wanted to come here in person and tell y'all that. But if Beth could tell me the procedure, what I need to follow, just so we can have a seamless transition, I'd sure appreciate that.
I believe it would be appropriate for you to submit your letter of resignation from the Parks Commission to Director Couch.
Okay.
And Director Couch will need to get that information to our city clerk's office. I don't know, Director Couch, how much longer does Commissioner Gibson have on his term?
A year and a half.
He said
Yes.
a year and a half.
It runs the calendar year.
It's wild.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you're planning to serve the remainder of that term?
No, I think I'm going to resign
Now?
immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
next 8 months, I'm not.
You can submit your letter of resignation to Director Couch, and Director Couch will need to provide that to the city clerk's office so that they can move forward to try to get an appointment ready for the mayor to be approved by the city board of directors for that unexpired term.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate all the time I've had on here. I really appreciate all the friendships I've made working with parks.
Does anybody else, let me first turn to our virtual attendees here, Commissioners Brusink and Martinez. Any questions about attendance? No? I see heads shaking. Okay.
It's all good.
Okay, all right.
And Jesse, thank you, Jesse. But no, you've served your time more than.
Yeah, that's what I was going to make that comment too. But.
Yeah, and that's where I was going to go. Thank you for your service. You've been a member ever since I've been here. So you are the oldest, the older statesman here. But thank you for all your service for parks. You've done a wonderful job. We've all learned. Those of us who have been on the commission for a minute, we learned from you. So thanks for your service.
So you've gone through 3 directors.
Truman told for you.
That's right. That's right.
I know the only one in here.
All right, very quickly, guys, I do want to reserve the last 10 minutes for Director Peck. Any agenda items for the next meeting? And I want the commission members, if you have something that you'd like to discuss, please do speak up. Any agenda items for next meeting?
Or special interest in.
Yes, sir.
I looked through, in the 2022 budget, y'all have a parks goal list. I would like maybe at mid-year, not necessarily next month, but maybe at mid-year, an update on those list of projects and the goals and how they're progressing.
Absolutely.
Director Couch has previously indicated a desire to have a special staff report each month, maybe like a 5, 6, 7 minute segment. Somehow we find a way to fit that into our agenda. Does anybody have anything special? Obviously, we've heard from Commissioner Smith here. Any other questions or maybe recommendations for what you might like to hear about? And you don't have to answer today. Think about that. Let us know. Pass your feedback. Director Martinez, Commissioner Martinez.
Hey, so being new, just for example, we were talking earlier in the staff report about the community centers and things of that nature. I live in Little Rock, and I go to the parks that I know about on a regular basis, but maybe just an education on the scope of the responsibility and number of facilities and things like that would be beneficial to me. I hope it would be beneficial to others. But yeah, just general information about what the day-to-day duties are like for staff and all of the things that are being overseen, the scope of the programs that are offered. I think the more I know about that, the more I can be an advocate to, raise funds, get people to participate, to use the parks, participate in programs.
Thank you for that feedback, Commissioner Martinez. All right, very good. Director Peck, you've got the floor.
I don't need 10 minutes, but I did want to mention one thing that I think it's just a few days before our next meeting, the Impact the Rock is part of the, what is it called, National Volunteer Week.
Yes.
And so it's a parks project, about Impact the Rock. So there are, on the website, or on the Facebook page, you can look at the projects. I think we're going back to Reservoir to do with the privet that just won't come.
I am your team leader.
All right, go Linda, team eradicate privet. But anyway, I hope we can get a lot of volunteers in action there. Okay, so last night's board meeting, we started discussion on the 2012 millage, and we are looking at putting something on the ballot on August the 8th. This is not going to raise anybody's taxes. This is replacing the 2012 millage, and the conversation started, and there's a lot of work to be done, but we need to do it fairly quickly in the next few weeks. And parks was discussed and sort of honestly dismissed by a couple of my colleagues. There was a lot of conversation after. So this is my plea and challenge to all of you. Parks still has a lot of strong support on the board, and we need to remind the directors of that. It's a little confusing because they're trying to keep the ballot very simple, and there were six categories. There was infrastructure, public safety, which is confusing because it's really not police, it's for fire equipment. The parks and zoo was lumped together, and there was actually some specifics. Hyman, War Memorial, all the community centers, the new 15-acre park downtown. None of this has been fleshed out. There's an economic development piece, and then a new municipal courts building, and a lot of us questioned if we even needed that. We do want to keep it simple, but I just was looking at an email, I can multitask, I was paying attention to, from somebody that said, you got to have parks in there. Let's take away A, B, C, D, and just have it be infrastructure, drainage, and parks. We know how valuable parks are for public safety, for public health. We know that we have 63. We know that we have major maintenance needs. So I'm asking all of you and your friends, to reach out specifically to your ward-specific director and to all of the board, and talk about how important parks are for our city, for quality of life, for economic development, for attracting, families. The list goes on and on. I don't need to tell you the spiel, but there were a couple of pretty vocal people that didn't want parks to be on the ballot. And that just cannot happen. It has to be on the ballot. And this one gentleman that just sent the email said, I live in Little Rock because I love parks. He's concerned about other things. I think part of the confusion is it didn't, and again, this was just number one talking session. The allocations, the numbers weren't there. So obviously, parks is not going to be equal to infrastructure. We know that. But we're going to be talking about this ad nauseum for the next few weeks. But I just want to make sure that our parks advocates and champions reach out to the city board, to the mayor, to the city manager, and sing the parks anthem.
Learning from my predecessors in this particular role, I'd be honored to come speak on behalf, if the commission will allow me to speak on behalf of the commission as an advocate for parks, if that's a possibility, and you recommend, I'll defer to you on that.
I think we will have some citizen communication time, and again, this was, it was a little bit strange. I mean, we all knew it was coming, but then at the same time, Dr. Compuris presented us with a 3/8 option, and then he got called away on a medical emergency, so we couldn't discuss it, but there's a big parks piece there. I heard from some people, yes, let's support parks, can we take the zoo out? You know, there's still that whole thing floating around from Rebuild the Rock, you know, why do we need $20 million for giraffes? Which is a lot of misinformation. But I then actually had a couple of directors that say, can we take the zoo out and just focus on parks? So I just, but thank you. And I think we may need that. But in the interim, you know, people do look at the emails, and I don't know the man that just wrote that, but I love him because he's talking about parks. I want to get to know him. But people do look at that information. And I think that some of the comments, it was such a knee-jerk reaction because of several things. The inflation, the rising cost of gas, the uncertainty about the war in Ukraine, you know, we're getting out of COVID. But at the same time, people are saying parks are more important than ever. You know, people, hello, Sam, fell in love with parks during COVID. I mean, his business exploded. The importance of parks in our community, I mean, it's evident. It's more evident now than it ever has been. So I don't think it's a hard sell. I think we just, I do think that maybe a couple of my colleagues who are up for re-election are sensitive to their constituents who maybe live in areas where infrastructure is number one. You know, drainage is number one. So they're, you know, putting these blinders on and forgetting about the importance of parks. So my ask is to reach out to all of those people, whether it's a phone call or a letter, and just copy every single member, especially your ward director, but and the at-large directors, they're very important. You don't have to sell Denny or me. Antoine Phillips is very supportive. But there are a couple of people that dissed parks last night and pissed me off. Excuse me, this is being recorded. Hi, Beth, it's me, Potty Mouth. That's all I have.
Thank you for your support, Director Beck. I know Leland feels the same way. We appreciate you standing up for us.
Yes.
All right.
I'm not afraid to speak my mind, in case you didn't know that yet.
We do love to read your comments the morning after in the newspaper.
Oh.
All right. Any questions for Director Peck before we wrap up, everyone? Please do let me know if there's an opportunity.
I will.
I would love to come speak on behalf of the commission to let them know that, first of all, the commission's here.
Right.
We are here.
Right.
And we do have a voice.
Right, we do.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for your time. The next time and place of the next meeting, you see this in your agenda, Wednesday, April the 13th, here at the center at University Park, off of 12th and roughly University-ish. If you haven't been here, let's see who hasn't been here. I don't know, Commissioner Martinez, if you haven't been here, let us know. I'm sure you can find it pretty quickly. Ren, I know you've been here as well. So, all right, guys, we'll see you hopefully in person next month. Committee chairs, be thinking about your challenge for the next meeting. Let's see. Any more ideas about the golf tournament beneficiaries, please let us know. And then please do pay heed to what Director Peck was just talking about right there. Please reach out to your ward representative and express your desire for parks. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Meeting adjourned.
This is what I meant. Take that one page.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know how, I can't believe you didn't do it long ago.
Well, I thought I could try to do it, and I just can't.
Yeah,
maybe.
no.
Text me.
Yeah, so
I haven't been gone
it's kind of a combination of,
Where are you?
John and I doing it, but, either
Thank you,
way,
guys.
yeah, it's
Thank you.
easy.
Yeah, no worries.
And how much are you-
Yeah, well, she's fine, I got it.
Of the list.
Yeah.
Where are we?
Thank you, yeah, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, hey.
Hey, man, no, I understand. I've been watching you on Facebook,
And,
all your pitching there, whatever, every
For
year.
4.5 years, just a year.
Well, what happens is, one thing that's a huge aspect on what we talk about, but that is just a small part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck.
Anyway, I'll send you a letter.
Talk about
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
how many people that have come and.
Be careful out there.
I probably haven't 10 years.
And find out that we're offering jobs in different cities, we're trying to cities out, and how many people have actually moved to Little Rock because of the
Oh, I
services
know.
of Fox.
I mean, the economic development, I mean, I talked to Jay Chester a little bit, who did an update for the chamber.
Just one minute too, because
And he
I'll
was.
run my number and grab the other one.
All right, anything left over here?
Just
So
saying,
is
just,
there anyone on
if we
that?
end up standing down there.
Are they not existing?
I'll just-
Okay. All right, so I'm starting fresh.
Well, you are,
Yeah.
you are, and there's a question
I don't think we need one
about
other band.
All right.
The,